Hey guys, I'm here and today I wanted to make a short little ranting video. One, because I haven't done one in a while, and two, because I have something to rant about, so we're gonna do it. So a lot of people have been making videos recently about what happened in YG earlier this month with 21 and Taehyun of Winner, and it really got me thinking about how terrible 2016 has been, and it made me realize that what we're doing right now is we're going through a transition period. And once I came to that realization, everything made sense. Are companies necessarily doing it correctly? No, I don't think anybody has really done it correctly so far this year. And there's only like a month left of the year, so I doubt anybody will do it correctly. And next year is probably going to be a lot of the same thing. What's happening is a lot of older groups are reaching the point where their companies are like, well, we have all these trainees that we want to debut, but we want them to be as popular as you were. And they're trying to debut groups that are going to be as popular as the older groups, say in YG's, as an example, not that they're ever a good example of anything, but YG is debuted Blackpink this year, and there's 4 members, and the whole Blackpink, Blackjack thing, that was a discussion that happened a while ago. He's trying to create the second 21 in terms of popularity. Not necessarily in terms of music, but in terms of popularity, he does want a second 21. And he does want a second Big Bang because TOP is going to the army very soon. Which is so weird. It's so weird to think about that. But he is going to the army very, very soon. So it's not like YG, a company like YG is suddenly gonna be like, well, guess that's it. Yes, we just don't have any more groups. Oh well. Like, it's a normal thing to debut new groups. And who else is like this? Cube lost Beast this year, which is very, very sad. And wow. I just can't even believe that that actually happened this year. But they have debuted other boy groups. They debuted BTOB, they debuted Pentagon this year, and I'm not saying that those groups are replacing Beast, but they are trying to think, well, Beast is kind of falling apart, YESUNG already left, so we're already down to 5 members, and the rest of them have to renew their contracts, which they didn't end up doing. What do? We just don't give up. We have to debut a new group, and I think 2016 has been a lot of companies being like, well, we haven't treated this group very well lately and they kind of want to leave, so we need something to replace them. And I feel like for younger people who really, really like rookies and are just getting into K-pop and maybe only stan like BTS or EXO or something like that, this is a really good time for them because they're watching all these groups debut just like I watched Beast and 21 and those groups debut. And now seeing those replacements, like I said, is one of the reasons I can't really ever get into Blackpink, because YG is doing a literal, like, replacement. Like, they aren't really trying to make them incredibly different. It wouldn't be hard to add one more girl, but, you know, they didn't, so. And every time something like this happens, in K-pop this year, I've seen tons of posts about these are the groups whose contracts are expiring next year. So next year is going to be a lot of the same. In the next couple of years are going to be a lot of the same until we get up to like the 2012 groups, because I feel like most of those are pretty okay, but I don't know. There's a couple of them that I'm very worried about. NCT from SM. Not that EXO needs to be replaced at this time, because EXO is doing incredible. They're doing fantastic. They just won like 6 awards the other day. But eventually they will need a group who is younger and who has not been debuted and who is going to debut, and SM is going to treat them in a way that they become the next EXO in popularity in terms of sales, because a company like YG doesn't really know how to just give up and like, they just always have to be like, oh yeah, we are the best. Remember that? We're the best. We're the best. That's kind of the feel I've always gotten from YG, is that we are literally the best. And I've never really agreed with that, but you know, it's just making me think about like all the groups that are debuting next year, a lot of the groups that I'm excited about, like Pledis Girls. Pledis Girls are Pledis' way of redoing after school. Not that after school is officially disbanded yet, but you know, which makes me really sad because Pledis is handling this terribly. I feel like we're going through a transition period, and it's really, really hard, especially on those older stands. The people who have been around for all of that time. Not saying that you're not like a fan of a group if you haven't been around for their entire, you know, their entire existence, but those who have been with them for years and years and years and, you know, followed them for so many years and voted for them for so many years, it is a harder time on those stands, and that's what I've noticed. I've noticed the people who have been, even if you are like ultimate 2anyone, but you've only been into them for maybe 1 or 2 years, you're not necessarily going through as hard of a time as the people who have been following them for 7 years. Even if you haven't been a fan for 7 years, like I haven't been a fan, I've been a fan for maybe like a year, from like 2009, 2010, I'd say that I was a really big fan of 2anyone. It's hard on me too, like, you know, it's just one of those things. It's another group that, like Kara was so big when I got into K-pop. I remember thinking, oh, Kara's having a comeback, that's it, those are the people who are going to be winning for the next whatever month. And now I think that about groups like Twice and G-Friend. Like, it's different, you go through a transition like that. I'm really sad that this is a transition year, because I feel like when BTS exploded, a lot of people found K-pop, and it happened when EXO exploded too. It's the same thing. We're going through another one of those like influx of people who are discovering this genre of music, but are seeing all of these older groups disband and not necessarily knowing what it means, and seeing the rest of us be like, oh my god, like Beast is gone, 4 Minutes gone, like Rainbow's gone, Kara's gone, like, and it makes me scared for next year. It honestly does. There's a lot of things that I'm kind of just waiting to see if contracts get renewed next year. And I know for groups like Gia and Nine Muses, it's not very plausible that they will renew their contracts with their company. And that's just so sad. And like Teen Top's contracts are expiring too, and that could literally go either way. I was thinking about it yesterday. It could go either way. I don't really know. Top Media was very good to them for a very long time, and they're still pretty good to them, but they're very focused on Attention right now, and they're promoting Attention. Attention is barely a year old, and they have 5 mini albums. It's one of those things. And then I was thinking about how I want the Woolen Boys to debut, but how I feel like when they do debut, that Woolen might start focusing on them more than on Infinite's main group stuff, which they've already been doing since Lovely debuted. They've been like doing more subunit solo stuff with Infinite, and more projects and more acting, you know, various other things. But they still give them a comeback at least once a year, which is very nice. And then a couple of things in Japan, which is also very nice. And part of me just kind of wants to be like, oh, it's not happening, it's just let me know when it's over kind of thing. But another part of me is like, well, it's kind of hard to avoid it, because Taehyun is a different story though. Taehyun is a completely different thing. That's not even like related to this whatsoever. It's just YG being that, which I can't really get into because I'm not really a YG stan. I feel like anything I say isn't really as valid as somebody who does appreciate YG artists. I do like their artists, I just don't really like the company itself. 2016 has really been an interesting year in general. I was thinking the other day how I have to start scripting my looking back on 2016 video, and then I have to get my 2017 videos ready, because it's that time of the year again where I go through finals and then I film like 2 hours a day after finals to like make all these videos for the end of the year, which I always really enjoy. It's actually one of my favorite times of the year video wise, because I release so much like other stuff besides unboxings and reactions and all that stuff. I release so many other things, but and then Secret Santa is a thing, so when that happens, I was just thinking, because I have my packages for my person in my room, but I put them away, so I was like, oh, I hope they're not in like camera, but they're not. It's been an interesting year. I kind of came out of 2016 very similarly to 2014, which people don't like to talk about 2014. 2015 was awesome though, so I'm hoping 2017 is also awesome, because 2015 was incredible, and yeah, we can go back to that now. I think we've suffered enough this year. But more contracts are gonna expire next year, and it's just a scary, scary thing, because it really just, I've said this in a couple of videos before, it shows my age as a K-pop stan. It shows my age when I react to things like this and like worry about groups that I watch debut, like groups I followed since debut. Am I worried about next June and Infinite renewing their contracts? As much as they reassure us that they're going to renew their contracts and they're going to stay together, well, they've just said stay together. They haven't said renew their contracts, but as much as I'm like pretty convinced that this is gonna happen, they're pretty close with their CEO, so I'm just like, like it's probably fine, but also a lot of people left Willem a couple years ago and I just am worried about that, but wherever Infinite go, I will follow them, so I'm trying to think of it like that. But do I want next June to be here already so I know if they're gonna have another anniversary under Willem? Yes, I would really like that. It's funny because I'm looking at this list of groups who debuted in 2010 and a lot of them are already gone. Like Co-ed School, FCuz, oh, Girls' Day contracts end next year. That's the other one I was really thinking about. Miss A's contracts. Sistar's contracts. Sistar I also feel like could go either way. I feel like they focus a lot on Hyun and the other members might feel like they need to go somewhere else where they're more appreciated, but also I just don't... Sistar's relationship is very similar to Infinite's and I've always seen it that way. Those groups who debuted who like really represented their company and really saved their company, like I feel like are less likely to break up. But yeah, Gia, Nine Muses, JYJ's on here. That would be weird. I just wanted to make this little ranting video, little talking video, because I wanted to say something about 21, but it's kind of like the last time something happened with 21 when Minji left, and I was like, I should say something, and then I was like, maybe I should just let the YG stans handle it and just like stay over here in my little bubble of Infinite and Super Junior. But yeah, let me know what you think about this transition period that we're going through down in the comment section down below. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!